Welcome to my weekly self-important Magic the Gathering show. This week I will be talking about Ninja Turtles. I am recording this a week and some change ahead of time. The episode about something, hold on, let me look. Earthbending was last week. Which it comes out in 2 days as of the recording. A day and a half as of this recording. And in that episode I said I would talk about Ninja Turtles if it was out. And all the spoilers are out. And I actually do, in fact, like several of the cards. I am going to do a minor cheat, sort of. Don't mind these two. I'll mention what these are. The Internet is a Joke and Spiral Out was based on a conversation I had. You don't have to worry about these. They may or may not appear in an episode in the future. I'm not going to explain the Internet, but Spiral Out was the how many different growth spirals effects could I get into one deck. That's what that is. But we're going to cheat a bit because we're not going to talk about all of the Ninja Turtles yet. We're actually going to use a very specific card. This one, Casey Jones, Back Alley Brute, to go back and talk about a Spider-Man card that I actually cared about. Menace. That's all we're going to call it. Starring Jonah Jameson. So, Jonah Jameson, one of like 4 cards from Spider-Man that I cared about. And I checked my past episodes, because it'd be here in monocolor. We go down to red, and there's the one where I have my opponent's attack for me because my commander is that one guy from Assassin's Creed. Or alternatively, it could also be that one Transformer. Like, they're interchangeable for what it's worth. Then there's mono red equipment with Gilgamesh. Burning down the house with what is his name? Whatever. It's mono red artifacts. And then there's Zell with the mono red lands. Norin with the weird abusing enters the battlefield triggers, or people don't block. That one dragon, the mono red warp deck. So yeah, I double checked to make sure I hadn't made Jonah Jameson. Now you might say, wouldn't he be in the Marvel? No, because this was just the Secret Layers. You might have saw Spider-Ham down here in monocolor from when I made that deck. So let's just go back to parent folder. TMNT is right here where I have all of these cards. So Jonah Jameson is 2 in a red for a 2/2 human citizen. With when Jonah Jameson enters, suspect up to 1 target creature. Hold on, I got an itch to scratch. Hopefully the background music I put on is audible. Let me double check the recording to see if it's picking it up. Okay, it looks like it is. I can't hear it for nothing, but that's fine. I don't need to hear it. In fact, me hearing it is distracting. Anyway, a suspected creature has Menace and can't block. Whenever a creature you control with Menace attacks, create a treasure token. We're not making a superpowered deck. But the reason why we're making it now is because there's a guy right here, Casey Jones, Back Alley Brute. 3 in a red for a 4/2 human berserker with Menace. Whenever Casey Jones attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. Whenever you put one or more +1/+1 counters on a creature you control, Casey Jones deals that much damage to target opponent. Casey Jones is just going in the Jonah Jameson deck. So this deck is basically Menace typal, though not everything in here is going to have Menace, but a lot of it will. And Jonah Jameson will give either himself, because that's funny, or some other random thing Menace. So let's go in here. Does he make tapped or regular treasures? He doesn't make tapped treasures. Interesting. Because he came out after they started making tapped treasures. So T creature O Menace order CMC, just because that I do like seeing them. Menace. Okay, Rogue son of Roga is mildly funny because he has first strike, Menace, and trample. I am going to maybe board that. It's probably not going to make it into the final deck, but that does amuse me. Burnout Bastronaut. It has Menace and start your engines. And then it has terrible fire breathing. And then double strike if you have max speed. That's not going to matter for this deck. This thing is Menace, but it has a terrible ability. Whenever you cycle or discard, it does something. You have to sacrifice permanents to give this thing Menace. But treasure tokens are permanents that you sacrifice. I'm going to maybe board that. Probably won't make it into the main deck. Goldtown has first strike in Menace and is itself a treasure dog. You know, that's ramp technically, and it's non-standard ramp. Remember how last week I made what, 1 or 2 decks without using soul rings? We'll see if we can keep up that trend just for fun. Okay, this thing has to damage a player to get Menace, so we're not going to worry about that. This thing has Menace, and you can discard a card and sacrifice it to draw a card. I'm not impressed by that. That's not very good. Whenever minion of the mighty attacks, if you attacked with creatures with total power 6 or greater... Oh, dragon from your hand. That's not what this deck is doing. When this dies, the ring tempts you. That's irrelevant. Rotisserie Elemental. I'm not reading all that. It's not important to this deck. Don't worry about it. Exile an artifact from your graveyard. This transforms into a thing with Menace. This thing has Menace when it's equipped. Boy, that just doesn't even feel right. Equipped. Whenever you cast a kicked spell, this thing gets Menace until end of turn. That's irrelevant. This thing gets Menace if you have a creature with power 4 or greater. Deranged Whelp. It's just a 2-1 with Menace for 2. That's... eh. Bad Fire Breathing. Beginning of your upkeep, you may create a treasure token. When you do, target opponent creates a tapped treasure token. Okay. Whenever Generous Plunderer attacks, it deals damage to defending player equal to the number of artifacts they control. Actually, that's that second part. Like, we don't need to make those treasure tokens if we are facing against someone who's playing artifacts. But I just like the idea that, yeah. Just French Vanilla Menace. Something about Delirium, so I don't care. This thing creates a Power Stone, but if it dies, it takes the Power Stone with it. You have to pay 5 mana to give this thing Menace. Oh wait, but whenever an opponent activates an ability of an artifact, creature, or land that isn't a mana ability, this deals 1 damage to that player. That's interesting. I don't think I'm going to put that in this one. This is a Megamorph. With the inferior Impulse Draw that you'll only have until the end of the current turn to do that. Not a fan. Irreverent Gremlin. Menace. Oh, with once a turn rummaging when other small creatures enter. Item Shopkeep. This will give another thing Menace. This would matter if there was very little Menace in this deck. I'm going to maybe board it for now, just to, it'll probably come out depending on how the rest of the deck comes out. First Strike Menace for a 1/3 that also makes Ragavan. Not interested. This thing makes other things stronger. This has Mobilize. Smelted Charge Bug. Oh, you get energy. I'm not messing with that. Bloodthirst. I don't care. French Vanilla Menace. Oh, Wingnut. That's another Turtles card. Whenever another creature you control enters, Wingnut gains your choice of flying, Menace, or haste until end of turn. Oh. And then each other creature gets +1/+0 when this guy... each other attacking creature gets +1/+0 when this attacks. So that's mildly interesting, but I'm not interested. Zal the Moonslayer. Menace. Non-basic lands enter tapped. Oh, and then this guy can Blood Moon. But that costs 7. Since we're playing a monocolor, like, this is a thing you can slide out of the deck if you want, if you think it's too mean. But for me, it's not stealing anything, and it's only punishing people who have greedy mana bases. And again, you can just not play him. If you think that's going to be a problem. Menace, Modular. Okay, Modular is going to matter for this deck. Power token is equal to the artifacts your opponents control. Oh, actually, I do like the Avalanche of Sector 7. And also, like, in my head right now, just after putting them in this deck, like Jonah Jameson just reporting on all of these hooligans, I think I'm kind of liking. Belligerent of the Ball. Nope. Slivers. Bladegraft Aspirant has Menace. Equipment costs less. And activated abilities of equipment you control that target it costs less. Not interested. Byway Barterer. Menace. Whenever you spend 4 mana or more in a turn, you may discard your hand and draw 2 cards. Not interested. Broadside Bombardiers has haste. And both sacrifice another creature or artifact, say a treasure. I don't know where this is going, but I'm just saying. Broadside Bombardiers deals damage equal to 2 plus the sacrifice permanent's mana value to any target. Actually, I do like that. Also has haste. And like sacrificing a treasure to do damage is just shock. Scratching my back. Brimstone Vandal. Menace, Day Night, nonsense, and okay. Go to creatures can't block. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, go to thing. I don't care. French Vanilla. Crystalline Giant has to get lucky to get Menace. No. Farid, Enterprising Salvager. Whenever a non-token artifact you can... Oh, well, that's non-token, so I already don't care. Menace Daybound. Allies. This gives humans Menace. Mildly interesting. Gut True Soul Zealot. Okay, that doesn't work because it enters tapped and attacking. Furnace Punisher. Well, that's mildly interesting. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Furnace Punisher deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 more basic lands. Not putting it in the deck, I'm just pointing it out that I like it. Frillscale Mentor. I'm glad I ran into it because I forgot its name. So this gives your creatures with Menace... Oh wait, no. That's not what I was thinking about. The thing I'm thinking about is unfortunately red-black and won't appear in this deck. There's another thing that gives your creatures with Menace Super Menace, which means instead of needing... Oh, I didn't actually explain Menace until now. Poor bad me. A creature with Menace needs to be blocked by at least 2 creatures, otherwise you can't be blocked. And there's a creature out there that's in the red-black colors that gives it what I call Super Menace, because it increases it from 2 to 3. But this is, we can pay 3. This puts a Menace counter on a non-human creature. But then we can also pay 2 red and tap this to put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with Menace. That'll have some synergy. Kavu, nope. Headstrong Brute cannot block. Menace only if you have another pirate. Iron Bully, Menace. And enters with +1/+1 counter. There's Triple J. Menace, and it can exert for something. Oh, Battle Armor. It's a reconfigure that can give some that has Menace itself or can give something else Menace. I'm not. Oh, Professional. getting that. We're not going to have a Tezzeret anything. Star Athlete. Choose up to one target non-land permanent and control may sacrifice it. If they don't, you deal 5 damage to that player. Actually, I really like that. They either sacrifice a permanent of your choice or they take 5 damage. I mean, that's win-win to me. No. Aspiring Champion from the 40k. When it deals combat damage to a player, sacrifice it. When you deal reveal cards from the top of your library and deal reveal a creature card, put that into the battlefield and shuffle the rest into your library. If it was a demon, okay, yep, don't, yeah. Whenever you attack, something gets Menace. That's pirate specifically. Oh, here's the Casey Jones I mentioned. Where he'll do... The first time he attacks, he's going to do 5 damage to an opponent. Well, 4 if you put it on someone else. But, you know, he is a valid target for his own ability. Caterwauling Boggart. I just like the name. That's Goblin who's getting Menace. This gives something Menace. Sacrifice a creature or an enchantment. Enters the battlefield. You get a rat. You may exert it. It gets Menace. This can have Menace or something else. This enters with a +1/+1 counter if something... If an opponent lost life. One more creatures attack opponents. That gives attacking creatures Menace, I guess. Oh, that gives anybody stuff Menace. That's neat, but we're not doing that. Gore Clan Wrecker. Riot and Menace. Riot gives you an option of giving this creature haste when it comes into play, or a +1/+1 counter. Oh, this spell is cheaper to cost if it's not the first spell you cast in a turn. Perforos's Emissary can be a creature or an aura. Ogre Errant gives other knights Menace. Monster Mashup, Breach and Menace. Cav Landseeker enters, you get a lander token. Lander tokens are basically rampant growth. But you have until the end of your next turn to use it. You know what? We'll put that in because, I mean, at 4 is not a good time to be ramping anymore. Actually, you know what? We're a deck that's supposed to be getting treasures. This is not a bad card per se because lander tokens are good in my opinion. Because they, yeah, they ramp in growth. They get a basic land from your deck onto the battlefield tapped. It's just that this thing costs 4. Something that I would probably want to try to remember to put into mono red decks. Like, it's not the greatest card, so, you know, but I don't make super powerful decks anyway. Equal to the number of permanents you control. Oh. I mean, as long, if we, I mean, it's Menace and not Trample, but like if we held on to our treasures, that'd be neat. Tax well settled, it gets Menace, okay. Raphael, Most Attitude, has Menace and Alliance. Whenever another creature enters, you may exile the top of your library. Whenever he attacks, until the turn, you can play cards exiled with him. I don't like the conditions on it, but for people who are better at this game than me, this is probably a good card. This thing makes rats. Bard gives something Menace. This has Improvise, which means your artifacts can help pay for it by tapping them, and they can pay for up to any of this generic. Raphael tag team tough. Oh, you get one extra combat a turn with him whenever if he does combat damage to a player for the first time. First time in a turn, if when he deals combat damage to a player, untap all your stuff and get another attack phase. Not in a hurry. Oh, the flaming Tyrannosaurus. I just like the flaming Tyrannosaurus. It has Menace, It has, whenever you cast a spell from anywhere other than your hand, it deals 3 damage to any target, so that's a lightning bolt, and then it gets a +1/+1 counter. And when it dies, it deals damage equal to its power to each opponent. I don't care, that's just fun. We will now scroll to the top. I will now close this. I'll turn this to type. So that's 13 creatures. I think... Oh, right, we can't drag... Select all. Auto. Type. Get rid of that. I'm going to want to put in at least 3 more creatures with straight up Menace. Oh wait, no, 4, because one of these doesn't have Menace itself. So 4 more things with Menace, and I'm not going to put anything that I think is objectively bad. Ugh. At just one itchy spot. But I am re-evaluating some things. That makes a monkey. It's not really... Oh, that's another thing that didn't actually have Menace. Okay, so that's 17, 16, 15. Hold on. 17, 16, 15. So 5 more things with Menace. Unless I find something else that doesn't have native Menace. Conditional Menace I'm fine with. So 5 more things with Menace. Equipment spells cost less. I don't know how much equipment we're going to do. Goated creatures can't block. That's the only thing doing that, and that. But I don't think we're going to be casting a whole lot of non-creature spells. Oh, there's that one that makes junk. I don't remember where it was, but I'll keep an eye out for that. Beginning of each player's upkeep, Furnace Punisher deals 2 damage to that player unless they control 2 more basic lands. Still not sure about that one. Oh, is the scribe. Whenever you discard one of our non-land cards, you know what? I'll put her in. When she attacks, you can discard to draw. And when you discard, you get a junk. Once a turn. But discard non-land. Oh, this guy's steals stuff, so you know I don't want that anyway. So that's 4 more, by the way. You know what? Lander token. We'll do that even though it's not great. And like we're doing other sorts of ramp, but that's 3. That's just nice. I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. I know that's a different person who says that, but that's the same energy. The 2 mountain cyclers. No. That's falling into despair. You know what? We'll do the conditional extra combat with Ref. Because that also gets us more combats. So I think we're down to 2. So I can close this and open it back up. Yes. Yep, 2 more. Because I don't think any of these other ones don't have Menace themselves. So basically the item shopkeeper is there to give Jonah Jameson menace on the off chance that Jonah Jameson gave the Frail Scale Mentor menace. I'll probably want... I'll probably want to put more creatures in this deck than all of these ones with menace. I just wanted to have 20 menace creatures. This creates 2 blood tokens, but I don't care. Each creature you control can't be blocked. Oh, gains Menace until end of turn. Okay. You know what? The Slinger. When you expend 4, shock something. I think there was another expend over here, but I don't remember what it did. I'm going to keep an eye out on it. Or I can just scroll to the top, because I don't think there were that many. Oh, it was this one. Discard your hand to draw 2 cards. We ain't doing that. So we are at 22. That's where I wanted to be. But then we're gonna look at creatures that care about artifact or actually no. That's probably going to confuse me. I'm going to look for treasure first, and then artifacts. Charming Scoundrel. Let's rummage, create a treasure, or put a wicked roll on something. Wicked roll is... We have to go to card info. No, we don't. Jesus. Wicked is, it gives it +1/+1, and when the wicked roll goes away, it deals 1 damage to something. Don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly certain I'm close. Descending doesn't count treasure tokens because they are not permanent. No, they're not. They're not cards. They're permanents, but they're not cards. Magda Brazen Outlaw to turn treasures into dragons or artifacts. That's an idea. We will maybe board you. We can also maybe board this one. I think I want to go up to like 27 creatures, and I'm at 23, I think, because it's 22, 23. Definitely, Blight to make treasures. That's interesting from the Lorwyn set. A set that we're not going to worry about too much. You know what? Academy Manufactor. Because we get clues and food. Clues allow us to draw cards. Food allows us to gain life. Don't care. But I am going to try to look for things that care about what we can do with those treasures that we make. Sacrifice a treasure to goad something, not good enough. You know, more professional facebreaker-like effects. Oh, another thing from Turtles. This is from the Commander product. Whenever another non-token creature you control leaves the battlefield, this thing gets +1/+1 counter. And you get a treasure token. That's once a turn. Yeah. Oh, sacrifice one or more treasures. Give your stuff double strike. Yes, please. Oh, Zorn, extra treasures. Normally, we probably wouldn't care too much about things that give us extra tokens. Search for artifacts your. Oh, broadcast takeover. Gain control of all artifacts your opponents control until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. Mildly interesting. Artifact 4? I'm just kind of... Okay, I just want to add one more creature, so we are going to go to Eirich just to see what they have here. Okay. Oh, the crime novelist. Yeah, I understand that. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, it gets +1/+1 counter, and you make a red. So it's effectively doubling your treasures. Yes, that. Not that I know what I'm doing with all of my mana for what it's worth. Uh, Problem with Hellkite Tyrant is that it steals my opponent's stuff. I do see some things that I've skipped over before. Like, and there's good stuff that would make the deck better if I put it in the deck instead of the stuff that I already put in the deck. But I think, yeah, I'm happy with my selection of creatures. Like, even if some of it is objectively, objectively stupid. Like, Rograk, Son of Roga. Like, there's a universe where there's like this thing exists just to get me treasures with Jonah Jameson out. That's it. It costs 0 and will get me 1 treasure. Unless I can talk someone into not doing that. So we are going to. So we have this one guy in here that blood moons. Assuming we pay 7, but we're not going to put actual blood moon in the deck because that's a tiny bit too mean. Because that kind of turns Zan the Moonslayer into removal bait, which I don't mind. If he gets to attack once, that's great. If not, oh well. I'm a firm believer in the value of removal bait. You know, baiting out your opponent's removal by giving them something they feel like they should remove, even if it's not like the most important thing. Uh, go back over here. We're gonna go T land just to kind of get this out of the way. And then O. Because I don't. If it don't make red, I don't care. Arena of Glory that we can give haste to stuff. Oh, I actually thought of another land that can go into this deck, and that it makes me happy because it's dumb. And then it only matters if a certain other card is in play. Well, actually, no, a couple of cards work with it. You'll see it when we get there. It's dumb. It is incredibly dumb. Valakut, that's good. I passed by the mountains because I wasn't paying attention. I really should do Mines of Moria, but it costs 4 to remove 3 cards from our graveyard for 2 treasure. That is ridiculous and not good. Oh, right, mountains won't say red on them. Because it's implied. all printings. We're going to have a couple of those in the deck because it amuses me. Then we're going to go down to Spider-Man because he doesn't like Spider-Man. Add one of those. Then I'm just going to kind of look around to see what feels good. Driving unsafe. I do not like how you take me back to the top, Architect, every time I do that. That doesn't sound like a thing you used to do. Tempted on this one from Assassin's Creed. That's Murders at Carlove Manor. I'm a fan from this one from I'm gonna call it Return to Eldraine. Wilds of Eldraine. There we go. I bet Jonah Jameson thinks Tolkien is overrated. He just seems like the type. I do like this one from Brothers of War. Going a little further down. But I think... Nope, there it is. This particular one from New Capenna because it's very New York coded. Refresh. Don't be a doo-doo face. You are being a doo-doo face. There we go. It lost one of my mountains. Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20. I find 2 more mountains. Or... Or I can admit that I have 15 of these. Skyscraper ones. And 5 of each of the other ones. And then we still need 5 more lands. T land O treasure because we can sacrifice treasure to draw a card from there. We want that. Because treasure vault is funny. We can sacrifice a bunch of treasures to create a bunch of treasures. And depending on what thing that cares about treasures we have out, that's funny. Fountain port is... That's gambling. We still need... Need is a strong word, but I want 4 lands to get up to 37. Boy, he just looks completely deranged. See what cares about artifacts and the colors. Okay, dowsing device. Sounds like it can flip really easily. Oh. Dowsing device is interesting. I don't know if it's that good. When dowsing device or another artifact enters the battlefield under control, treasures are artifacts. Up to 1 target creature can go control gets +1/+1 until end of and haste until end of turn. That part don't matter. Then transform Dowsing Dagger if you control 4 more artifacts. And then on the backside is a land that taps for red, or you can pay 2 in a red and tap it. Until end of turn, target creature gains haste and +X/+O, where X is the number of artifacts you control. Neat. Inventor's Fair is funny, not necessary or helpful. It remembered that I had it flipped over. That's mildly funny. Okay, nope. So land base, search. War Room equal to the number of colors in your commander's identity. Draw a card, but it costs 3. 3 mana and 1 life to draw a card. I am not a fan. Oh, Rogue's Passage to make target creature unblockable. Maybe. Myriad Landscape just to kind of pay 3 to put 2 lands onto the field, as long as they have 2 basic lands that share a basic land type. Okay, actually, yes. Nixos Shrine to Nyx, because it's equal to your devotion. Cavernous Souls. No. Path of Ancestry to scry off of casting our commander and any other human and/or citizens. No. 3 Tree City, that's for creature types. Tyrite Sanctum to turn J. Jonah Jameson into a god. That's mildly funny. Okay, 2 more lands. Does the EDH rec section for lands have any different ideas? Daily Buell building. Oh, it's a land that gives something menace. Just because this is a flavor, not because it's any good inclusion. Daily Bugle building. I understand the Muruganda Raceway, but I'm not doing it. I think I'll put in Castle Embreth just to give me something to do with mana. Because I believe that was the last one I wanted. Yep, to 37. Because I wasn't going to put in another basic. So we have all of our creatures. And removal in red is kind of not great, is it? T instant O permanent. Sorry, another case of scratching an itch. My removal section is just me saying Jameson lives in a comic book world. Chaos Warp isn't out of the realm of possibility. Neither are the other things that'll be going in here. Like Guffrey writes history. Transforming Flourish. I believe Wild Magic Surge is the other one. Yes. Mizium Mortars. Vandal Blast. Glade Blast Fireball. Shattering Spree. Because I can at least destroy artifacts, Galdern it. Permanent. Introduction to Annihilation. I'll be honest, I don't like the damage-based removal in red. Zuko's exile. J. Jonah Jameson may not know who Zuko is, but he'll cover it in his newspaper. So that gives me 10 pieces of removal. Let us go by categories again. You will go and burn. And yeah, that can just stay in creature, because I don't know what that would do either. I'm going to move you to burn. Mass disruption. Vandal blast. Mizium mortars. Delayed blast fireball. I think Guffer writes history counts too. Yes. There. And a lot of this stuff also counts as removal. Like the bombardiers, because it could do damage to a thing, I guess. Ugh. Okay, I will put this back over here. It's just not good removal. And I don't want to count it as removal because it's only 2 damage. But like the bombardiers is one of the things that'll be really funny if we sack a whole bunch of treasure to treasure vault. Oh, we do have 11 pieces, 12 pieces of ramp if we count our commander. That's cool. 5 life or 2 to make it. So it's either this, except that it can't ever be free. We can also pay 1 red and 5 life instead. Because you are also not a game changer, right? It's like I'm not countering your spell. I'm just telling you to not cast your spell at me, and I'm putting money on that. On that. Oh, Demand Answers is also an instant. That's nice. So let's go down to sorceries. Not a blasphemous act kind of guy. Gives us additional combat phases. Don't care. Disrupt Decorum. Disrupt Decorum to goad everything I don't control. That is a game changer. Light up the stage. Crackle with power. That is kind of the dream, to spend that much money to take on everyone. Click that button really quick. Oh, it's too. They went into a place called Protection. Yeah. So, but 6. I'm gonna call it 8. In fact, I'm gonna hide them in removal, because that's basically what you're gonna be protecting yourself from most of the time anyway, is removal. It's funny how it's 6. I mean, technically it is ramp but it's like there's got like the pedantic in me wants another name for something that costs more than like 4 mana. That gets you more mana. It's like you're not. That's not because you've already gone up the ramp at that point. Hydrate. I do kind of want one more piece of mass disruption and one more piece of plane removal, or list. No, we can sacrifice treasure to turn them into shocks. Like, not great, but you know. That is a neat card that's bad. Like, there's the crime novelist. Rocketeer. Give him a hat. Give him some plate. The hammer. The mirror shield. The greaves. The coat. The boots. Enter the cloak. That puts us at 90 at least. And all of that went into protection, except for I think one went into evasion probably. Nope, it didn't. I'm checking to see if it went somewhere else. Yeah. The funny thing is that this kind of like expensive, but it does give itself a free equip. And this also gives all of your other equipment free equip, even though we're not like running a whole lot. It's still handy. Let's draw more cards. Oh, I just realized there's something in ramp I want to move to card draw. And that's the Facebreaker. It's impulse draw, but it still draws. considering we have so many other things that make uh, treasures for us anyway. So reckless impulse and Rin's resolve. They exile the top two cards of your library, but you get until the end of your next turn to play them. Uh, Sometimes I play those like before I like even like when I don't have a whole lot of mana and I get like something super expensive. Hopefully with this deck, uh, I'll get oh, and I just realized something I want. Dolmen's Gate. That prevents all okay, all the other protection pieces either gives Shroud, which means no one can target it, Hexproof, which means your opponents can't target it, or Indestructible, which means it can't be destroyed. Dolmen's Gate prevents combat damage to your creatures, and that's important. I remembered someone on YouTube saying more people should run that, and I'm like, you're right, person on YouTube whose name I don't remember, but it was one of the Chaos women. Not Tabby Toe Claws, but like in that same group of they like to be the problem in any game of Magic that they play. She's like in the professor's like circle of players a lot. I forget her name. Amazonian. She's great, but she definitely likes a meaner version of Magic the Gathering than I do. The tray I put my keyboard on is starting to come apart. Sad. I'll need to. Well, I need to replace this whole table soon. Anyway, 7 more cards. I don't need ramp. Oh, any enchantments I missed? Rain of Riches. The first spell you cast each turn, that mana from a treasure was spent to cast as Cascade. I mean, sure. Oh, Alchemist Talent to be an alternate to Goldspan Dragon, even though it costs more to get to that point. Yes, Alchemist Talent, sure. Reign of Riches, sure. We're not doing Daring Privacy. don't know what section I went into. I don't know what section it went to. It's not in tokens. It's out of land, of course. I will take out Descendant into Avernus. Oh, Alchemist Talon costs more than I thought. I thought it was two at the top. I don't know what I was thinking. I do like this additional case of sacrificing treasure for 2 mana. And then this ability right here to, if you cast a spell and treasure was spent on it, this deals damage equal to the spell's mana value to each opponent. So that's also kind of, that's good. Reign of Riches gives us extra spells. That might come out. I'm going to look around just a tiny bit more. Lightning Bolt is tempted to take out just because I know it ain't great. But, you know, it'll get rid of some small thing and I'll feel good about it. You know, I'm going to dump out Demand Answers. Now that I have other draw. I could also take out Reckless Impulse. I know I'm making my draw section anemic, but the rest of my draw section makes more draw. And I also have another thing that could be in that draw section, but I don't. But it went down here into token? That's weird. We're going to put her in the draw section. Although she is, I mean, if it was going to allow that other thing into the draw section, this can be in the draw section. Just to make me feel better. Why is this guy in the token section? This guy can just be in the creature section. And this, since I'm going to put in the draw section, because the thing I care about that it does is clues. Like, I know that's a little cheeky and disingenuous, but that's what we're doing. So now we're down to 98, and I can put back in 2 cards that I took out. So that's where we can go here. We can go into deck history. And we can put back in Descent into Avernus. Oh, Fervor is the other card. Which actually, I'm going to take back out Descent into Avernus again. For Fervor, which is, again, creatures you control have haste, which is literally a worse Rising the Day. Okay. Like, this isn't a strong deck, but it's a neat deck. All of these things, and then just J. Jonah Jameson yelling until he's just completely red in the face. Oh, hold on. Red Menace. With the communism question mark? Save changes. Okay, now we're going to start looking through these seriously. So this one, oh, this one's definitely going longer than normal. So let's see what jumps out at us. There is something in blue that I thought was neat, but she's not really commander. I don't think. Uh, Also, even if we don't make another deck, this is we're actually going to talk about stuff from TMNT now. Agent Bishop. I recognize the name, but that might just be me thinking about X-Men, so I don't know who he is. He's obviously that white guy. Beginning of combat on your turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each of the two target creatures. Neat. April O'Neil, Kunoichi trainee. I did not know until this set came out that there was a woman of color, April O'Neil, but a friend of mine who's really into Turtle says it's the most recent incarnation. And I'm like, cool. Uh, I know they're just mean-spirited people who this probably bothers, but I'm like, admittedly, to me, there's an incongruity with the name, but you know, whatever. Doesn't bother me otherwise. Uh, oh, Shaquille O'Neal. So never mind. I'm full of crap. When April O'Neil enters Scry 2, that's look at the top two cards of your library, put them back on top in any order, or put them on bottom in any order, or one on top and one on bottom. Uh, oh, and she cannot be blocked. Oh, she has the non-typed skulk because this is cheaty skulk where you can make her bigger, but it's power 3 or greater because her current power is 2. I don't know who Jenica is, but apparently she's from the IDW Conet mix. When she enters, we get a red mutant creature, and she plane cycles, which means you can discard her, pay 2, discard, get a planes from your deck into your hand. She's a 3/3, okay. Uh, Koya, also from IDW apparently. Enters, exile up to one other target creature. At the beginning of your next step, you may pay 3 and a black. If you don't, you have this like in-step cost if you want to keep it gone. Otherwise you have this one-time blink effect. Leonardo, Big Brother, Sneak. Sneak is technically fixed ninjutsu, I guess, because you can only do it during the declared blocker step. And ninjutsu is you can return a tapped creature to your hand, a tapped unblocked creature to your hand to put this into play for the cost. And it enters tapped and attacking. So this is all of that, but it's only during the declare blocker step, which is okay. And he gets bigger for the more creatures you have. So, so as much as I like this more than the Spider-Man set, this does have the same problem as that set in it has multiple versions of the same character, like filling up space. Because, you know, they have like these long histories and like alternate versions. Lifelink. Oh, this is a legendary Johnny's Pride Mate because it gets the +1/+1 counter when you gain life, but it has lifelink, so it's self activating. Leader in blue. Cheap base cost. It's a Savannah Lion at base. One mana for a 2/1. Wait, we can sneak it for what is that? 5? Yep. When Leonardo enters, if his sneak cost was cast, it was paid. Creatures you control get +2/+0 until on turn. Okay, that explains why the sneak is more. You can also give him first strike. Leonardo Sewer Samurai sneaks for 4. So the sneak is same mana value, just a bigger investment in white mana. Double strike. Cast creatures with power and toughness 1 or less from your graveyard. Neat. But they enter with a finality counter, okay, which means they are exiled the next time they would go to the graveyard. Leonardo the Balance. Okay, this is a Wooburg one. Whenever a token you control enters, okay. So that's any kind of token. That's interesting. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control once a turn. Okay, fair. Pay Wooburg. Creatures you control gain Menace, Trample, and Lifelink until end of turn. Neat. And it has partner, specifically character select. Which means you can have a partner commander, so you can have 2 as long as they both have character select. I didn't even read that. It's intuitive. Leonardo, Worldly Warrior, costs 1 less for each creature you control and has double strike. Okay. Neat. Lita, Little Orphan Amphibian. Don't know who that is. Whenever another creature you control enters, choose one of the following that hasn't been chosen yet. She gets +1/+1 counter. We get a food, or you scry 1. Okay. Sally Pride. I really feel like I should know who that is, but I don't recognize this picture at all. Create X/2/2 red mutant creature tokens, where X is the number of non-token creatures you control. Okay. And she attacks. Oh, and when she attacks, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Neat. Okay. Splinter, Aging Champion. Enters, destroy tap creature. Up to. Leaves. You and another player draw a card. Okay. Splinter and Leo, father and son. When they enter, choose one or both. Each must target a different player. You get a 2/2 red mutant. And +1/+1 counter on each other creature. Okay. April O'Neil, Hacktivist. Beginning of your end step, draw a card for each card type among spells you cast this turn. That's probably really good for people who do that. Although in mono blue, let's see, you can have creature enchantments and creature artifacts, and at least one artifact enchantment. I'm just thinking of things that are multiple things. So you can probably draw a couple of cards at the end of your turn, but I am not impressed by it. 3 more April O'Neils. So she has 1 mono white card and 3 mono blue cards so far. One of them is the Caucasian one with red hair, but that's from the Commander product, if you notice. Unless that is still... No, I'm fairly certain that's the Caucasian one. Like, the hair's kind of different. Also, this is live on the scene. So they're giving her the detective archetype, and I think that's the reporter one, not the hacker. April O'Neil, Human Element. Whenever a player casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, you create a mutagen token. This is a new token. It has 1, pay 1, tap, sacrifice, put a +1 counter on target creature, only as a sorcery. Okay. Uh, like if you can get her out decently early, you're probably going to get a lot of those mutagens. But like that doesn't feel like a great payoff for blue. Just saying. April O'Neil live on the scene. Whenever a mutant, ninja, or turtle you control enters, investigate. That's the pay two, sacrifice, draw a card. I like her, and she gets out early. And she cares about mutants, ninjas, and turtles. Uh, Man, and that's actually some good stuff. I'm gonna go over here, and I think this might be our second deck. We're just gonna call it April. Create. Oh, another April card. We'll read this really quick. We'll read the other two. Whenever April deals combat damage to a player, draw that many cards, then discard a card. Okay, neat. I don't like discarding, but there are people who are less crybabies about it than I am. When Donnie and April enter, choose one or both. Target different players. Draw two cards, or return an artifact, instant, or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. But I am going to set this as my commander. That's the wrong one. I'm going to set this one as my commander. I think I'm going to put... I might... I'm tempted to put the other Aprils in the deck, other than the one that I can't put, and this one, which I don't care about. That also might be the Caucasian one, but it is really hard to tell from back here. Like they could all, like this. This is the only one where this one and this one you can really tell that it's the person of color one, but the rest. Oh, and I guess yeah, this one kind of has the hair. Yeah. Anyway, T turtle. I want to see what kind of there's one mono blue turtle I kind of want to that I know I want to put in here. And that was the thing that made me go, oh, this will be the second one we do. Oh, and since this is the reporter one, that's actually kind of funny that it goes with J. Jonah and Jameson is the only two I did for this week. Stun counter on it and draw 3 cards. Oh, that's... Oh, 3 stun counters and draw 3 cards. Whenever you cast a turtle spell, untap this creature. That is just a wild lot of wild, isn't it? I'm going to maybe board that because that is just hilarious. Because I don't know how many turtles I'll be having in this deck. But if this turns out to be turtle typal except for April, I'm actually fine with that. Donatello, Gadget Master. It has a sneak cost. Whenever Donatello deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of target artifact you control. Sure, why not? I actually like that. Donatello, Mutant Mechanic. Put 3+1/+1 counters on target artifact you control. If it isn't a creature, it becomes a creature. That's a robot, for the record. As a sorcery, and it's a tap effect. And he's a 3/5 for 4. Whenever an artifact you control is put into the graveyard from the battlefield, if it had counters on it, put those counters on up to 1 target artifact or creature you control. You know what, Donatello? I like you. You could have been the star of your own deck, but this is April's silly deck that I do actually like. because I want to get all of these investigates. It's not going to be 100% turtles. Because I realized some other things I want to put in here. What is it called? Because I'm gonna have to search for it. Oh no, I'm gonna have to search for it by what it says in the text box after I'm done with here. Donatello, rad scientist. It has vigilance. When he enters, tap up to 3 target creatures your opponents control. Put a stun counter on each of them. That's actually kind of just good. Because while it isn't removal, that is mass disruption. Donatello, the brains. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, we get those plus a mutagen. Our April doesn't have character select, right? Oh, ours does have character select. This could be multicolor. But I actually think I want to keep it mono blue. And now I want to put the April and Donnie card in here. Who there it is. Anyway, Donatello, Turtle Techie, enters. If you control an artifact, draw a card. We're just going to put all the Donatellos in here anyway. Lord help me. Right? Partner, character select. Partner, character select. Hiya. Okay, not technically legal is not important. There we go. So Donatello. Okay, at least it made it into the deck this time. Donatello, Way with Machines. Whenever an artifact you control enters, this guy gets a +1 counter. Of course. So, yep, a bunch of turtles. Don't care. Because it's all Donatello. Oh, Kappa Cannoneer is the thing. Whenever this creature or another artifact you control enters, this gets a +1/+1 counter, and it can't be blocked this turn. That's the whole reason. That's the whole reason. Phantasmal Shellbag. Spike Shell Harrier. It's tempting to put the blue shell from Mario Kart in here, but it doesn't really do much. I mean, technically it's a 4/4 for 4 with an added 1 blue mana bounce effect stapled to it. You know what? This is kind of a garbage deck, but like we're building it garbage on purpose because it amuses me more than anything else. How many turtles made it in here? 5, 6, 5, because that's not. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8, so... yeah, okay, so it's not full turtle typal, which is fine. So we are also going to grab ninjas and mutants. Hold on, that's cast, right? Oh, that is enters. That says enters. Okay. I'm going to move both of these over here. Because I was thinking about character selecting a white. But I have to find one. Because it says enters. There isn't a white character select. Oh no, it's right here, but it makes the whole deck rainbow, and I don't want that. Oh, characteristics. Wild. Michelangelo. Okay. We're staying mono blue because I don't see another character select that goes into the colors that I want without adding more colors that I don't want. That makes me mildly sad. Commander. Because I wanted to put teleportation circle in the deck, for the record. So we're going to do Thassady Dwelling because she blinks. Put you into card draw, even though he only replaces himself. That's counters. That is also counters. You are tokens. Oh, I already have a... That is, and she is also card draw. There we go. When you investigate for the first time each turn, investigate additional time. Enters an additional. enters. Oh. Hopefully this gets me all the harmonicons. April's Roaming Throne. I know I've disappointed certain people. Metallic Mimic, because that more +1/+1 counters. Oh, you know what? Spark Double. Trigger. If a player drawing a card, causes a triggered ability, it's additional time. Artifact or creature entering. That's a wizard specifically. Virtue of Knowledge. Permanent entering. There we go. All of my harmonicons. Panel Harmonicon is a copy effect. In fact, we're Harmonicon. We're going to give it its own section because that's what it is. There we go. Oh, that actually reminds me of other things. Although that isn't an enters effect. Yes, we're doing Vile Duplication because it costs the same as Spark Double, but it creates a token. What's that other one? Excuse me. Quantum Misalignment. It also costs one more, but it has Rebound. I don't think we're gonna want to. We're not gonna copy April O'Neil that many times. Just these 2 times. I was just checking. There's Chameleon. Like, it's not even like the greatest thing to copy, but again, we're just kind of having fun. Irma's the one that, since she doesn't enter. Oh wait, no. Irma, because she can become another April and gets +1/+1 counters. And she's a mutant. So she triggers original April. There we go. We are going to look for mono blue mutants. T mutant. There's Baxter flying the ointment. Baxter Stockman. Whenever Baxter enters or attacks, each creature you control with a counter on it gains flying until end of turn. Whenever you actually, since there's this weird little sub theme of putting counters on my own stuff, so we can make all of my artifacts flying. Whenever a zombie or mutant you control dies, if its power is different from its base power, draw a card. Actually, sure. Because again, we have this weird thing where, like, this guy can get counters. This guy can put counters on my artifacts. So we can turn our investigation and our clue tokens into creatures. It's kind of silly. Like, this deck isn't good by any means, but I am liking what's happening. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. Cast spider spells, don't care. Mondo Gecko, what do you do? Discard a card until end of turn. It becomes the color of your choice and hexproof from that color. And then he draws cards equal to the number of colors among permanents you control, which is at most 2. If you changed him to a different color. Ray Fillet, Man Ray. When he enters, you get a mutagen token. Oh, and then you can pay 2 to turn +1/+1 counters into make them effectively clues. So I like you. Oh, there's 2 Ray Fillets. This one evolves. Oh, and then whenever a creature controls the counter on it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Sure, why not? Different Baxter Stockman. Draw a card, discard a card. Island Cycling, not interested. Okay, how many creatures am I up to? 22 creatures. Nice. Technically 24. 25, 26. I am going to want more artifacts. Well, no. April O'Neil makes artifacts. Categories. And then with Metallic Mimic, I can choose Ninja, Turtle, or Mutant. And depending on what I like, whatever I think I'm going to draw more of. The Mutant right now is the best option. But let's grab some Ninjas. And get to see some more Turtles cards. Chrome Dome. I guess that's a purely robotic version of Shredder. Other artifact creatures you go get +1/+0. That's technically helpful in this deck, assuming we draw certain cards, which means we cannot rely on it. Huh. Covert Tactician can cheat in artifacts when it deals combat damage. Not. Okay, nothing in mono blue ninjas that I didn't already have in the deck. Oh, wait, hold on. Definitely not a turtle. I missed this. When this creature dies, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a land or legendary turtle card from among them, put in your hand. Put the rest of the bottom of your library in random order. That is funny. O, remove, O, counter, O, draw. There's a specific thing I am looking for, and I really should go back up. But I found it. Remove a counter from a non-land permanent control, draw a card. Human Citizen. Tome of Legends. Because I can blink my second commander for clues. I'll add Academy Manufacturer just to get the other things. Add blue for each clue we control. I don't know if I'll ever actually need that, but I do. I'll put it in. People can tell me that I'm wrong. Oh, Martha Jones and another creature can't be blocked whenever you sacrifice a clue. So making our stuff unblockable. Oh, this puts +1/+1 counters on creatures when we sacrifice clues. All artifacts we control are clues in addition to their other type. Oh, and also makes stuff unblockable when we sacrifice clues. Considering we have a non-zero number of ninjas, that's probably a good idea. We are going to go by type. 27 creatures. We are super good on creatures. I would like more artifacts, as it turns out. Imprisoned on the Moon. It locks down commanders fairly permanently. It's a bit of a mean card, but I'm a fan of it. It's like, listen, you can play Magic, but you can't play Magic with that card. That thing becomes a land. I don't care. And what's nice is that with my Vial Duplication and Spark Double, I don't have to copy April. I can copy this Donatello or anything else in here, honestly. And I think Mutant is still the best option. I'm not going to Ozolith. because like all of that stuff is kind of in the deck. But that's something I could, was it Trinket Mage for? But I don't think I want to tutor anything. I got a stupid name for this deck. Blues Clues. What is the win con? That's a good question. I'm just going to say Kappa. Alright, now we don't have to go back here. Because Kappa Canyoneer is the finisher, and that's... Well, and if that don't work out... Okay, so T instant MV equals 1. Hit enter on that. What was this really? Reality shift. Exile target creature. Its controller manifests the top card of their library. It's a card I would definitely like to use on Arena, but it's not on Arena last time I checked. Which admittedly has been a while, so but I don't think it's been in like Arena Horizons or anything. I'm looking for... I think we'll Bluster Scroll, bounce off. I'm bad at brainstorming. Chain of Vapor. Basically using bounce removal. Because I'm not going to put any counter spells in my blue deck. Fading Hope. Some of these we'll be able to use to save our own stuff. One of the things I grabbed was into the full was a mass disruption piece that can tap all creatures I don't control. So grabbing Pongify and Rapid Hybridization. That seems on brand. Put in my lands really quick. Jonah and Jameson. I'm just doing 30 of the Turtle Lands. Now 7 other lands. Looking through all the lands does give me time to think, because I think I already know which ones I want. I've kind of got my personal play group to mostly agree with the don't counter spells. If you're blue, use other sorts of removal. So while Cavern of Souls is good for that kind of thing, I don't usually feel the need to put it into decks. We make blue play with one hand tied behind its back. Oh, there's some more removal I could put in this deck, but I'm waiting until after I'm done grabbing the lands to remember. So many lands. Untap a legendary permanent. I'm going to have that as one. Because you never know when you're going to want to untap a legendary permanent. Mystic Sanctuary on the off chance we can get a instant or sorcery back. Myriad Landscape because it's rampish. Nykthos because we're monocolored. That's why it's a $70 card, really. Also, they named it something that made it hard to reprint. Path of Ancestry because we're running 2 different commanders. Like with a bunch of different types on them that are also in the deck. Reliquary Tower because we might max out our hand size. I mean, we'll be making clues, so who knows? Oh, artifact land, because we can turn it into a creature, and that amuses me. But obviously, if I overlanded the deck, that'll be like one of the first things that comes out. Oh, what's the planet for these colors? Oh yeah, there's always a terrain generator if things feel like they need them. I think we're getting close to it because I think it was in the... There it is. Oh, blue for each artifact we control. Sure, why not? we are one land over. And Seed of the Sun, no, it's coming out because that is the least useful one. There we go. I know like 38 is the new how many you should put in, but I'm sticking to my 37. And what is that, 83? Oh, Conjurer's Closet. Instep, exile a creature, return it. There we go. I don't think we have any infinites, so Deadeye Navigator, who literally, though I did say we didn't need any more creatures, but Deadeye Navigator only existing to like blink some random mutant ninja turtle does amuse me. But now we're at 30 creatures, 31 if we include that one spell wherever the heck it went off to. So we're putting in Aetherize, Aether Spouts, I think I'm taking out Bluster Squall for now. Those are the ones that, if someone attacks us with a whole bunch of stuff, we put them in their hand or some part of their library. I gotta zoom in on this just so we can look at this, because if you look at it, it's like this is his head, this is his eyes, this is his mouth. He's looking at the mutagen, but like it kind of looks like his head is all sorts of messed up, and he's facing like directly towards the camera. It's not great to look at indirectly. What's funny is that I could probably make more different types of tokens, but I don't care. So what are we at? We are at 86, so we got 14 more. Let's set this back to categories. You care about counters. You care about counters. You care about drawing cards. And I just remembered saying the word drawing cards. You care about copying stuff. So there's Idol of Oblivion again. And also Endless Atlas. There we go. Ooh, scratching an itch on my hand. Don't mind me. So we got card draw. Only thing we've called. Oh, you know what? We might have to break my not putting in certain cards streak. 15 pieces of removal, and several of it is one. Nope. And okay, we don't have that many. Oh, Curse of Swine. Oh, it's Curse of the Swine, but it's still. Yep. Thanks. 3 isn't exactly mass disruption, but it is disrupting more than one thing. And 4, not the worst. Sapphire Medallion going into ramp. This makes our blue spells one cheaper. We just have to tell our opponents that we don't plan on milling them, unless they ask us nicely and we have 6 extra mana to mill them with. And then if they're milling themselves, we're helping. You know, I don't like milling other people, but, you know. What is this? Whenever you cast a creature spell, target creature an opponent controls doesn't untap? Sure. Okay, 8 more. You get out of that section. Yep, we're breaking the streak. T art MV equals 2 minus T creature. I haven't typed that out in a while. No. Although, actually, Agatha's Soul Cauldron kind of goes with this. So we're going to put that in here as like a sneaky thing we can do. Oh, the arcane signet is the turtle communicator. Mildly neat piece of information. I forgot to add space to get rid of so much nonsense. Felwar stone, even though it doesn't add the color that we actually need unless someone else is playing blue. Mind stone. Iron Crag. Thought Vessel. Did that take us over 100? Yes, it took us over 100 by 1. There's actually one... the Vile Duplication is the one that I think I'm going to take out. Just kind of being racist against instants or sorcerers or whatever the heck that was. Yeah, could this deck be better? A billion times. Like, I went into this with a silly concept of going, oh, I want turtles to and ninjas and mutants to have me investigate. And then I was like, oh, look at all this stuff that I could do with my artifacts. Oh, it's like in one of those things that I can do with artifacts is +1/+1 counters? Okay. So, it's like, there's not even that much stuff in here that does +1/+1 counters. There's 6. 6 out of 100. Oh, 7. Oh, and I like how Peacock here turns everything into a clue. So when an Academy manufacturer makes the food and the treasure, those are also clues. I'm not saying that we get more stuff because that's not how the triggers work. I'm just saying is that all of our clues, food and treasures are also clues. Like, it's all clues. I could probably get rid of this entire section, but I don't want to get rid of these two Donatellos, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I'd say at the end of the day I like this deck. And the errors are only cards that are not technically legal. Okay, so... Oh wow, 3-hour special with only 2 decks because I'm a slow deck builder. But next week it will probably be more Ninja Turtles unless I see something in the Ninja Turtles that makes me want to build a commander from an older set like with Jonah and Jameson. See you then.